This is just information, no advice, just something to think about. Guys, what's going on? Wait, first off, I want to show you guys something that I built. I haven't named it yet. I usually name all my plants, and this one. How long did it take me to build? Don't worry about all that. I built that with one of my buddies. It took me a couple hours. It took him probably the hour to build his, but it was just something I was really grateful to be doing and just relaxing for a change, because I don't do that often. And it was definitely a moment of gratitude for me. I want you to ask yourself, have you been growing in life, or have you just been groomed for gratitude? And when we are groomed for gratitude versus actually having it, sometimes it errs on the line of toxic positivity, right? Dismissing of harsh experiences, undervaluing somebody else's personal experience, or minimizing the experience of a person and something that they had to go through. I think we do exist in a society that is very uncomfortable with negative emotions, which is why we fear so much saying the quiet part out loud, which is why we have a hard time talking about certain experiences that we've had, or we feel obligated to protect the people who have harmed us in some way. Protection can look like different things. It can look like not expressing what has taken place, trying not to disrupt a certain flow, making sure you are not appearing as gossiping or being dramatic. So you minimize, you silence yourself. Somebody may say, well, yeah, that experience made you stronger. What if it didn't? What if it gave you more to worry about? What if it gave you more to navigate every time you wake up in the morning? What we need to understand is that hypervigilance and hypersensitivity, while a lot of people see it as a superpower, it comes from traumatic events, okay? It comes from having to self-soothe and remedy yourself, where the person who may be responsible opted out of either acknowledging what they've done or just having consequences altogether. And now we are in this space of, I have to make sense of this situation. Sometimes making sense of a situation means that you criticize yourself. You are willing to subject yourself to a certain level of punishment because of the feelings that you have, because of the experience that you had. What we need to understand is that a lot of times when we don't have, when the people who are responsible for the situation decide to opt out, we constantly need to make sense of situations, which means that we will blame ourselves. The reason why we blame ourselves is because, well, this is the only person that's present, and I got to put this energy somewhere. And putting it somewhere means that I have to now make you responsible, which means that I also dismiss your feelings. And we definitely have an element of spiritual bypassing, where there are certain people, when they are faced with their consequences, attempt to be above it or give themselves an out, even make a person feel guilty for having a negative reaction altogether. And sometimes I hear when people, talk about gratitude, you ask them, what are you grateful for? They're like, oh, my health. I'm grateful that I woke up today. I'm grateful that I have food on the table. It's such a formality, right? It's such a dismissive space to exist in, because it's like, are you actually grateful for your health? If you are, how do you take care of it? Something that I practice, and I have for a very long time, is that I do 5 gratitudes a night, and it's usually from the day. And no 2 days for over a decade have really looked the same. I go to the gym and I don't have a great workout, but I went. And I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful that I went even though I didn't want to. Sometimes I do have a bang out workout. I'm like, yes, hell yeah. But there are even small moments in life that I experience where I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful I got clarity, right? The situation may not have been the desired outcome, but I'm grateful for the clarity I got. But I can still acknowledge the disappointment or even the harm from the situation. To be grateful doesn't mean that you dismiss or remove the reality of the situation. To grow doesn't always mean you have to be strong, or every situation that you've experienced you should be grateful for. No, sometimes you don't have to be grateful for going through a crappy experience, and now you have to build some level of resilience to just survive the next day. That's not something you have to be grateful for. That's not something that you asked for. One of my mom's favorite lines, she says, give me what I asked for, not what you want me to have. There are some people in the world who want to treat you in the ways that they want to treat you, not in the ways that you deserve. And the expectation is, as the recipient, you should find the silver lining in this person doing what they do. Oh, everybody's going through something, or, people have experiences, or hurt people. All that's cute. But it's like, hey, look, I didn't ask for this, so I don't need to be grateful for it. It's like force feeding a person something that they are intolerant to. They say, hey, this doesn't make me feel good. And you say, well, yeah, you should be grateful that you have food. No, not if the food is making me sick. I think we definitely exist in a world that is very uncomfortable with truth. And it truly is a beautiful thing to just allow room for both. A lot of times when I talk to my friends, or I talk to my family, I ask them how they're doing. They're like, you know what? Good. I have nothing to complain about, or everybody's going through something. I'm like, but I didn't ask you that. I said, how are you doing? Right? And sometimes I will go and I say, well, what's working? What's working in your life right now? Okay. What do you feel challenged by? What are you in control of fixing? What are you actually in control of that is weighing on your heart so heavy? Are you in control of it or not? If you're not in control of it, well, how can you put it somewhere else? You don't have to be grateful for every situation that has caused you some level of grief. It's too often that we tell people who are literally just trying to do their best in the world, mind their business, treat people properly, be intentional, be the mirror in the world, or be what they seek, that every time they have a negative experience or somebody treats them poorly, oh, they should just be grateful. So like, where's the accountability? Sometimes people just need to know that, hey, what you received and how you were treated, you didn't deserve. That wasn't okay. All right? And maybe you had to be strong all your life, but in this moment, you don't have to be. It's all good. I want you to reflect on yourself. Like, how often do you go through life feeling like you have to be the strong one, or you have to minimize your feelings, your experiences to make other people feel comfortable? Whether making other people feel comfortable with your existence or making other people feel comfortable with how they've treated you. How often do you find yourself doing that? And also, I want you to realize, when you are constantly forcing yourself to be strong, what happens in your relationship dynamics? Does it now become this thing where people really don't show up for you or check in on you? Or is the expectation that people feel that they can treat you however and you'll always bounce back? Or you are the go with the flow? Or everything's always good, you'll take care of it. Even if I break it, I'm leaving you responsible to fix it, because you always do. Sometimes it is so crucial to recognize, am I really grateful? Or am I just trying to, grin and bear it to make other people feel comfortable? There can be room for both. And you don't have to be grateful for somebody else's comfort. So I just want you to really think about that when it comes to gratitude. But also your ability, sometimes when we dismiss our own feelings, we can easily do it to other people. We may not always realize that. I talked about hyper-independence, and this is something that I've come to know about hyper-independence and how it works. A lot of times a person thinks, well, because I'm so self-sufficient, I can do everything on my own, I can be there for other people. But the same way you treat your feelings, in some way, shape, or form, you're going to treat other people the same way. Telling yourself, I'm all that I can rely on, and I'm all I deserve to have in terms of a resource, in terms of community. I also kind of project that onto other people. It's like, why can't you just take care of this yourself? Or you may resent people for the fact that they have community, okay? For the fact that they are less, resilient or self-sufficient. Stop trying to make it okay to alleviate or remedy situations that weren't okay. Doesn't mean you have to dwell on it, but you can simply just acknowledge it. Yeah, you know what? This experience was not okay, and I didn't deserve it. I'm here. I learned something. However, I didn't deserve it. If you know somebody, or even yourself, you allow gratitude to be a glaze of something that probably doesn't sit right in your spirit. How about you stop doing that? How about you actually say the quiet part out loud, even if it's, you acknowledging it for yourself. Hey, this was not okay. If you like what you hear, you like this information, share, comment, like it, take what you need. And you don't have to take anything from this. But just remember to breathe. It's just information.